to learn to differentiate who you are from what you do. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, Dr. Francis, I'm with you when you're right, but that right there is a bit shaky for me, because the things that he has done is starting to make us believe that that's who he is. If you now realize that you don't have to deal with the headache, then why would you? Hey, B, it's jamithatsme here. Welcome back to my channel. Now let's get into love and marriage Huntsville. So we see Melody at this photo shoot with the children. She's moving forward in her life, and what better way than to take pictures with her beautiful children, put them all around her new home. We see Destiny come and stop by to have a good chit chat with her and check on her. Melody tells her about just wanting to move on from Martell and tells her that she completely understands that he's losing a lot. He's losing his family. He's about to lose out on coins. He's losing a lot, but she also feels like he's just a walking contradiction, because she wants to sympathize with him and understand what he's going through, but then his antics and his actions makes her be like, you know, you're so trash. One minute you're telling me you want to be back with me, the next minute you're dogging me out to anybody that would listen. So I'm just not really featuring that, and I don't really blame Mel for that. If you now realize that you don't have to deal with the headache, then why would you? Martell decides to stop by Dr. Francis' office, honey. Lets him know that he's had a lot going on. The divorce is really weighing on him. He speaks on some of the issues that took place in the marriage, primarily sex and affection. Those were the things that he wanted. I'm a little confused as to why that's always a deciding factor for some people. Like, sex, I ain't get enough sex, she ain't do this, she ain't do that. It's kind of like, well, what about all of the other stuff that she was doing? Was her being a good wife to you and being a mother to your kids and helping you manage these businesses and things and not enough? Was that not, like, the bigger picture wasn't enough for you, that you just resulted everything down to, oh, she didn't give me enough sex, she didn't give me enough affection, so I had to step out and go get it somewhere else? Martell goes on to talk about how he was loyal to 2 women. I'm like, no, you were not. You were not loyal to your wife, but you may have been loyal to that side chick because you dealt with her for about 5 years within your marriage, but you were not loyal to your wife. So don't sit up there and say, oh, I was loyal to 2 women. You can go ahead and take that out your vocabulary, because that was not true. Dr. Francis is asking questions, I believe, about pregnancy and things like that. Martell is going around the questions that Dr. Francis is like, you know, honey, you really could be a politician the way that you like to avoid these questions and things. Martell eventually comes out and he's honest about the fact that the girl is indeed pregnant. Well, what Dr. Francis decided to do was actually support Martell in that moment, not bash him, not make him feel any lower or less than what he is. So he goes on to say, like, don't make nobody make you feel bad about your decision, but it's not about what you do, but it's about who you are. People have to learn to differentiate who you are from what you do. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, Dr. Francis, I'm with you when you're right, but that right there is a bit shaky for me, because the things that he has done is starting to make us believe that that's who he is. See, he coming in here and he's just giving you a piece of the story, which is he got another woman pregnant, he cheated on his wife, whatever. But what he's not telling you is how he's trying to go around and make her look like a bad person to everybody and not just standing his own SHI and on his now is leading people to believe he contributes, not just Mel, making us think whatever we want to think about Martell. Martell contributes to how people see him and what we think about him. So it's not just we have to differentiate what you do from who you are. No, that's like charging to my heart and not my head, but you're showing your heart and your head, and that's who we believe that you are, and that's just what that is. Until he starts showing changed behavior, then our perception of him will change. But I just disagree with the statement that the doctor made in that sense. So did he not tell you he was seeing this lady for 5 years? Within a 13-year marriage, half his marriage, did he not tell you that? I'm a little confused. It's hard for us to not see him for who he is from all the SHI that he has done. And at this point, the only person that can see the best of him is God. So okay, but that's not our job. But I mean, all right, either way, honey, this your baby, this your family, and good luck. Martell get on the phone with the side girl, tell her he want a paternity test. He tells her about the Dr. Francis visit and all that. She gonna talk about some, did you call me a peasant? And I'm like, girl, no, he ain't call you no peasant, but it was an orange today, so what you gonna do? Oh, okay then, yeah. Well, he's like, no, I ain't call you no peasant, but should this baby be mine? She's like, oh my God, Martell, I really just cannot believe that this is a conversation right now. I can't believe. He was like, well, you know, I want to know, you know, I want to have confirmation, I want to have proof that this is indeed my child. I was like, it's yours, Martell. But okay, I get it. Okay, all right, that's where they are. He definitely wants a paternity test. I think that she should give it to him just to prove the point that it is his. Not feel insulted that that's what he wants. Like, you're gonna want it too. So I don't think she should feel insulted or whatever, regardless of how long y'all been messing with each other. We at the black party. Martell pops up, having a small talk with them. Chris and his wife pop up. Martell decides to extend an apology to Tisha and them for his actions towards her mom. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, that's somebody's mom. That's your mom. I won't want nobody to do my mom like that. I have to respect that. You know, I apologize for those antics. And I was shocked, and I appreciated that fact that Martell did. I was like, look at Martell. Okay, he's trying to grow up just a little bit. I guess that meeting with Dr. Francis is helping just a little bit, honey. Okay, so he definitely apologized, and everybody could appreciate that. Now, when Chris and his wife come in, they speak on the situation that happened when Mel threw the glass at Martell on last week's episode because things just went left. He always starts off with he's so happy to see Mel and he wants to be back with Mel, and then he cannot help himself from bringing up her past or bringing up the fact that she may have cheated or whatever it is. Regardless of what it is, Martell, this is why people have issues with you. For you, you never like for it to be one thing. It has to be one way and another. Not or, but one way and being another. You sit up there, you want her, but then you want to call her out for cheating, but then you're also still wanting her, sir. That's the thing. Even if she did cheat, you still want her. Even if she did call you out or say whatever, you're not telling your information. It doesn't matter if she was telling it or not. Even though you're upset about it, you still want to be with her. That's the thing, and that's why you sound like a fool when you be out here talking. And the whole time, Martell's like, well, I didn't mean to upset her or anything. And then Tisha asked her 2 cents, and it's like, Tisha, shut up. Be quiet, honey. Hush up for a little bit. So she's like, well, the only thing he can do is speak his truth. That's all he can do. He could he said he was telling his truth. And then Marcel was like, girl, like you ain't gotta do it. Don't say that. No, well, that's the only way to get past things and to heal is to, be honest and to tell your truth and just to be truthful. And it's like, Tisha, shut up. Be quiet. You know you trying to get to a better place, or at least Mel was trying to get to a better place with you, and you still over here trying to instigate and be involved in the matter. Now Marcel at first was just gonna be listening, but you just had to add something in it. It's like, girl, shut up. We learned that Jalen is the GM of Black. I can't say that I agree with that. If that's what Jalen wants to do, cool. It seemed like Jalen really did not want the opportunity, but it was forced upon him, so he took it. Jalen does not know what he wants to do, so I hope that he's still in that position. I hope he's still doing well, and I hope he's continuing to figure out what it is that he wants to do, because Jalen was at a place where he don't know, and even though he the GM, I think he still don't know. He just out here doing it because they asked him. It was a quick opportunity for him to get, and he hopes that he don't let nobody down. So either way, honey, good night. Mel arrives looking as good as she wants to look. I love when Mel wears the short hair and the beautiful long bang, like the blonde. Oh, it's just so pretty. But her confessional, like how she came to the party was cute, but how she looked in that confessional with that white on and them earrings, beautiful. I said, girl, you better keep this hairstyle. Them braids and them wigs you been having. But these short dudes, girl, your face is made for that. You looked gorgeous. So keep it like that. As soon as she gets in there, Tisha wants to pull her to the side, apologize to her, talk to her about we were trying to like mend fences or whatever. When you were talking at the retreat, I didn't give you the opportunity to say what it is you need to say, and I felt like I ruined everything, all of that. Now, Mel hears her out, but then Mel goes to her confessional and says that she finds it to be amusing. And I'm like, okay, Mel, for me, you're doing what Tisha just did when Tisha called BS you trying to mend fences. Now you see her standing in your face doing the same thing, and you call it amusing. And it may very well be amusing, but we didn't really need to hear that, right? You the one who said you wanted to move forward. She may have took a step back, but now she's trying to move forward, so let's move forward. See, y'all can't get nowhere because y'all both doing the same thing you and Martell be doing. Y'all be bickering back and forth, so let's just move on. I appreciate Tisha apologizing, although Mel, I ain't apologize for SHI Loyalty, girl, for anything that I've done, but I appreciate your apology though, and we could just see how things go from here. The Skies unveil an image of all of their sons on the wall. You got Destiny and Mel in the back like, well, where the little girls at? I agree with that. Mel called Marcel sexist. I agree that the daughters should have been on that wall, in my opinion, only because Tisha played a role in helping this business become what it is. Why just the guys? Are y'all about to go and create another location and put the girls on there? Are you guys going to create a new brunch spot? That would be cute. I know Marcel was trying to get a brunch thing off the ground, so why not create a brunch spot and make sure all of the little girls' faces are on that? Because women, we love mimosas and a good brunch, honey. So that would be super cute. I do believe what Mel was saying about him being a sexist. I feel like he's exhibited that type of behavior since he's been on this show, as if men can do certain things and women cannot do certain things, even when it came down to the whole president thing. He really didn't want to agree to the fact that his daughters could actually be president. I don't believe that he truly believes that. Mel brother walk over to Martell. For me, let me speak for myself. I'm not interested in seeing Mel's brother on the show. I just don't really care to see, like, it'd be like, what you come for? You just be messy. What you want? So when he called Martell to pull him off to the side, I honestly was like, why? What do you want? Pulls him to the side. Once they have a conversation with Martell about when he approached him about his children and the things the kids had told him, he says that his intent was not to hurt Martell or make Martell feel a certain way, anger him or anything like that. And I'm like, no, your intent was very much so, because you approached this man and everything that came out your mouth was fly as hell. It was very fly. But he said that he was trying to get him to understand that you and Mel are both acting in a way that is not helpful for the children. You guys got to be more mindful of the children. So that's the angle that he was coming at. Yeah, you should have then said that at that time, because you definitely came wrong. And I was really with Martell with how he came back at you. Like, you came like you wanted smoke, and that's what Martell was prepared to give you, especially when it came to his children. So I don't fault him for that at all. Martell goes on to say, listen, I have no issue with you being around my children. You've been there for what, like 13 years. I've never had an issue. I enjoy being around you. I want to come and hang out with y'all sometimes too. Like, I enjoy that. But be careful what you say to me and my children, because right now I want the foundation for them to be a man and a wife household. Like, that's what I want for my children when they get older. I want them to be in a heterosexual marriage. And Troy was kind of like taken back. Wow. And I was taken back with Troy, because I was kind of like, you don't get to make that decision on who they gonna marry or what they're gonna have when they get older. All you can do is give them the husband and wife household or whatever that you wanted to give them, but you couldn't get them that because you even messed that up. But as they get older, they're gonna be old enough to choose and make a decision on what they want and who they want the same way that you did. So you don't get to make that decision on them. Troy was shocked, and Troy was like, that's very interesting that you would say that, because it ain't no negativity when it comes to what's going on in my house, because I got this, I've been doing that, I've been doing this, I've been doing that, I've been doing this. So I don't understand where this energy is coming from. And I understood exactly where Troy was coming from. And I was like, well, let him know, because sometimes these heterosexual households be way worse than a male and male household or female and female household. I don't know why you think yours is supposed to be like way better, and that's the lifestyle that you want for him, because like Mel ended up coming up to say, if that's what you wanted, you should have been more mindful of where you put your peen at. Mel walks up, she's wanting to know what the guys are talking about, small chat, small talk. You know, Mel gonna have her brother back hands down, and that was a great opportunity for her to just pretty much lay it out on the line about Martell and letting him know that he's the reason for this divorce. I appreciate it. She looked gorgeous. She came, she sat down, she told him everything she needed to say, and I really was glad that he was able to kind of like, for the most part, hear her loud and clear. To see her cry, you could tell, and the way they bicker, you could tell there's still love there. She's continuing to fall out of love with him, but I think they really love the memories of what they had, and they grew up together. They were in college together. They went through a lot of things together, coming up and having these children, and now they got 4 beautiful children, and they can't even give the baby girl the very thing that they gave the other 3. Even though the marriage is ending, they were still able to be a part of the marriage when it was both of them in the household, and they can't even give the baby girl that. So I know, like, that's just a lot for Mel to understand that her complete life is changing, and I know it's stressful for Martell, but I love that she let him know, I gave you a lot of chances. What she said, I gave you 5 years to cut her off. Now I'm realizing that was too long. It was definitely way too long. So I was glad that Mel was able to let him know, like, I gave you a lot of time to cut this lady off, and you decided to continue to mess with her, so much so that you ended up getting this woman pregnant, a woman that is my enemy. You allowed yourself to impregnate my enemy. Like, that's where I draw the line. And it was in that moment Martell really knew there is no turning back. There is absolutely no turning back on this one, because you mean to tell me I gotta deal with this lady for the next few years, or 20 or however many years I gotta deal with her because you chose to step out on her? Absolutely not. Because if you'll go that far to get this woman pregnant and she keep the baby and stuff, and you've been dealing with her for 5 years, then that means I gotta go on with my life of you continuing to deal with her for the next 5 or so years. But if that's what you want to do, go and do that. I just don't have to be a part of that. I appreciated the conversation she had with him. She was really honest and bold. Now, when it came down to the segment where Martell told her to shut up, in my opinion, it didn't even sound like the clear words shut up. It sounded like shut up. It was like shut up, like he was saying something else, and editing chopped the parts where he was talking. He could have said, man, you could shut that mess up, or you could shut that crazy talk, or whatever it was. Granted, he probably should not have said that to her, but I did not like how it looked like that little section was edited. But Mel went ahead and let him know, regardless of what it is that you did say, whether it was shut up, shut that mess up, shit talking like that, whatever it was, you could shut up, okay? Because it ain't gonna be no more of that when it comes to me. You need to sign the papers. But what I'm hearing is that you also do not have an attorney right now to even sign the papers. Martell wanted to get like real, like fancy, like, well, why you keep saying that? Why you keep saying that? I am trying to sign the papers. And that action that he gave off when she said that made me think about the girl he messing with. Are you trying to say this to Mel because that girl gonna be watching this and she hearing this or something like that? It was just so weird, because if you really wanted this divorce, you probably would have signed it a long time ago. So that's why I was a little confused. So why you keep saying that? I am trying to sign. Well, if you were trying to sign, they would have been signed. And right now they're not signed. So we need you to sign them, okay? Mel was really upset, and he decided to get up and remove himself because he didn't want to have the conversation anymore. He really could not take anything that Mel was saying. So we see Destiny walk up to Mel, trying to check on her, make sure everything's good, see what's going on with her, as she sees she's crying. Mel starts pouring her heart out to Destiny. Then we see Tisha and we see Kimmy walk up. Mel continues to pour her heart out to the ladies, and she's just continuing to be an open book about what all's going on with her, how Martell pretty much called her or considered her to be one of his HOEs or whatever. And then she talked about the baby again. She said, oh, I'll never be able to deal with that. You done got another woman pregnant. You about to have a baby on the way. I'll never deal with that. Here go Tisha. What? Is another baby on the way? Really? And then she was like, yes, another baby on the way. Here go Tisha. Oh. I'm like, Tisha, don't even act like you don't even know what's going on up here, girl. Don't act like that. Don't act like you don't know when you already knew, and then want to try to sit up there and act shocked and surprised. And then gonna get in the confessional, talk about Mel is my sister. If Mel is going through it, I'm gonna be there for her, okay? All that other petty stuff, we're gonna put it behind, and I'm gonna be there for her. I'm like, Tisha, shut up. Okay, and if you're gonna be there for her now that the show is not on, I would love when y'all come back to have heard that you constantly checked on Mel, you constantly tried to talk to her, constantly tried to have some type of relationship with her as she's been going throughout this entire divorce and being a single mom of 4 children. Since you want like all of that, put it behind. If that's what you want to do, that's what we want to see. This was the final episode. I was shocked. I would not have known had I not gone to Melody's Instagram and saw that she said, and just like that, Love and Marriage Huntsville is over. It's been great. So it makes me wonder, are you returning back to the show, Mel? What's gonna happen with that? And are we gonna get a reunion? We appreciate this behind the scenes tea y'all trying to give us, but Carlos, knock, who's there? You come here. Come here. We gonna need a reunion though. I don't care how y'all social distance. Y'all done did a whole season with a whole COVID. So don't even try and come out there with no excuse as to why y'all cannot have a reunion. Do not let it be funded by COVID. Period. Okay? So what I'm gonna need y'all to do is have a sit down and have a real reunion as y'all have done for all the other seasons, and let this be the final season too. Cause y'all be confusing us with all of these episodes to one particular season. I do not understand the claim of fame for that, but what I would like to see is the fresh start of a season 3. How Martell is handling or dealing with the baby or whatever. Like, we want to see what's going on over there. No, we do not want to see the side girl. We do not want to see the mistress or whatever. We're not really interested in seeing her, to be honest. Maybe a glimpse of the baby. She probably won't allow it unless she's going to be able to be on the show, but we would like to see how that's going to go and how the co-parenting is working between Mel and Martell and what's going to happen with the friendship between the two. And then maybe y'all probably can merge in another couple, because I don't know how much longer Mel and Martell are going to want to be able to be a part of this show. They may just continue to try and make coins off of everybody else on the show, so that's not a bad idea either. But don't come back with no season 2 on some 2021 25 through 40 episode. We're not going to do that. Okay, y'all gonna have to start over season 3 episode 1. So you guys go back to the round table, have those conversations, and you come back and let us know. That's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.